Hey guys, welcome to Schnilly Sports Picks. We're kicking it off today with Darush versus Sarukian fight night on Saturday, which is a very great card for a free fight night. It's like pretty stacked, to be honest. A lot better than what we've been getting recently. Kicking it off, Wellington Turman taking on Jared Gooden. I think Turman has the experience advantage, and I think he's a little more well-rounded than Gooden. That being said, Gooden does have a solid path to victory if he can outstrike Wellington in this fight. Give me Wellington Turman minus 210 on the money line. Drakkar Klose take on Joe Solecki. These fighters are so evenly matched. It's basically a question of if Joe Solecki will be able to use his experience to get the fight down to the mat against Klose. And I don't bank on him doing that. I just don't see it in his game plan. I think Drakkar Klose will keep it standing and win the minutes there. Moving on, minus 145, 1.5 units. Moving on, Julia Avila taking on Miesha Tate. Pretty controversial fight. A lot of people betting on Miesha Tate as an underdog, which I don't hate, but I think Julia Avila she's got that killer instinct that a lot of women act. She goes for the finish every time she steps in there. And Miesha Tate is just a fighter from a different era. Like, she is a fighter from the Obama administration, and that's just not something you like to see. And
What does that mean?
like that era of the UFC when Obama was still in office, and like the Ronda Rousey
Oh,
kind
okay.
of kind of era. Julia Avila, the only reason not to like her in the spot is she's been out for a long time. I think it's two or 3 years, and I mean that's just crazy layoff. Um, but I just can't get around to betting Miesha Tate. I think Julia Avila, how if she looks as good as she did when she left, I think she should win this fight pretty handedly. Give me Julia Avila by decision at minus 170, 1.5 units. Moving on, these next two fights are very evenly lined. Sean Brady taking on Kevin Gastelum. I'm taking Sean Brady at minus 130 for a unit. I see a lot of people on Kevin Gastelum this week, and I understand it, but he's fighting down a weight class at 170. I'm gonna have to see how he looks on the scale first. Um, as of now, as of the recording, I don't think he's weighed in yet. Um, and that's gonna be a huge factor in who wins this fight. If Kevin Gastelum even makes weight, if he can look good on the scale, I mean, I think he should win this fight. He has the takedown defense. And
Real quick, just so you know, you were frozen for like 45 seconds for me.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just letting you know that might I don't know if it froze on your end, but
No, did I just come back?
just now, yeah. I just texted you before you came back.
Oh, okay. All right. Where did I leave off? Julia Avila?
Yeah, you were like wrapping that one up.
Okay, so yeah, I think Avila, if she looks as good as she did when she left the sport for her layoff, I think she should win this fight pretty handedly. Give me her at minus 170 for 1.5 units. Moving on, I got Sean Brady money line against Kevin Gastelum. I don't mind people taking the shot on Kelvin. I get it. He's fought the higher level of competition, fought world champions, given Israel Adesanya a run for his money. Um, and he's got good takedown defense. He's got really fast hands on the feet, good output. He doesn't really gas out. but he's moving down to 170 again for I believe the second time in his career. I think he used to fight on 170 like on the regional scene or something um like a long time ago. And I don't like that for Kelvin. I think that might be a bad move here. I think Sean Brady is going to be the larger guy, and Kelvin has trouble making 185. I don't know how he's going to make 170. I mean, he hasn't weighed in yet as of now, but yeah, I'll have to see how he looks on the scale before I start feeling bad about my Brady bet. But Brady, he's a great jiu-jitsu artist. He's going to have the ground advantage 100%. And if even if he can't get the fight to the mat, if he can just he's got really good like fence wrestling. If he can get Kelvin against the fence and just kind of grind on him and try and while he's trying to get him down, I think he's going to win the minutes there. And honestly, the discrepancy on the feet isn't that big. Like, it's not big enough for me to be like, oh, if they're on the feet, Calvin is going to 10-8 them. Like, it's not like that. There's, like, Sean Brady can hold his own. So give me Sean Brady at minus 130. Moving on, Davison Figueiredo, money line. This is my favorite bet of the week. I got him at plus 130. The line's closing in a little bit. I saw him move down to plus 120, then plus 115, then plus 110. He's taking on Rob Font, which I like as a fighter. I mean, I bet him against Adrian Yanez. I've had a good track record of getting Rob Font fights right. I bet him. I bet against him against Marlon Vera. That worked out really well. And I kind of know what fights he shouldn't be winning, and that is fighting against fighters who have like legit one-shot power and can scrap with him. I don't think he wears damage on his face very well visibly after each fight. He looks like he just got into a car crash, and like literally after round one in the eight or like halfway through the Adrian Yanez fight, dude, fucking swollen eye, cut under his eye, like bloody nose. Like, it's just when he gets hit, he doesn't wear the damage well, and the judges see that and they're like, okay, so Davidson's doing more damage. Let's give him the round, even though Rob Font might be outvoluming him like crazy. I think Rob Font will have the volume advantage in this fight. Like, he puts out insane volume, and Davison Figueiredo puts out under average volume. So you got like two opposite ends of the spectrum there. But that's really all I see going for Rob Font, like pumping out that jab, kind of circling out. Davison Figueiredo is at fight ready. That's my favorite part of this fight and why I like him. Being at fight ready, I think he's going to have a lot better offensive wrestling. He's always had great jiu-jitsu, great submission game. He could submit Rob Font if he gets him down, but you know, getting those takedowns, working with Henry Cejudo now will be a lot easier, I believe. And all it takes is Rob Font, you know, winning the minutes on the feet, which I think he will. And then halfway into the round, Davison Figueiredo hits him with a shot, and Rob Font is doing the fucking chicken dance. And then you basically lose the round because of that if you have a Rob Font bet. So give me Figueiredo at plus 130. This guy has fought champions, been a champion. He's just moving up a weight class, and Rob Font is welcoming him to the 135-pound division. I saw Figgy on the scales. He looked great. He didn't look depleted. So, yeah, that's all I got for this UFC Fight Night.
All right. Sounds good. All right, moving on to NFL Week 13. Last week we had the Thanksgiving week. We had a pretty solid day on Thanksgiving. Nothing crazy. We had a couple TD touchdowns. We missed on the parlay. That Sunday we had only 3 plays. We went 2-1 on that end. We lost to Bucks money line, but other than that, we hit our other bet of the over on the Broncos Browns. and I don't even remember the other one, but it hit, so we went 2-1. But this week, NFL Week 13, we'll get right into it with the first one. We have Broncos Texans under 47.5. Broncos last week we had the over in their game, but it was ridiculously low. I think it was at 33.5. This week 47.5 playing the Texans in Houston. I like the under here. I think the over under is just kind of high for this game. I know the Texans have been one of the best offenses in the league with Stroud, and the Broncos have been red hot, won 4 in a row, now in the playoff race. It's a big game for both teams, but I think actually it's honestly could determine a playoff spot for one of these teams. But I think in this situation, it gets very competitive. Defenses step up. I think Broncos will kind of slow it down on the offensive side of the ball, and I think Stroud will have a good game, but overall, I think 47.5 is kind of high. I like the Texans to win this game, maybe like 24-20. Puts us just under it at 44. But give me the Texans Broncos under 47.5. Moving on, we have Cardinals plus 6.5 against the Steelers. I debated taking the money line here. I think the Steelers are the worst team in the league the worst playoff team in the league right now. I don't think they're good. They just fired their OC last week, and their offense looked a lot better this week or last week. But against the Cardinals, I feel like the Cardinals, I don't know. The Cardinals, I think, are at plus 200, plus 215 right now on the money line. But it's on the road, so I like them just at 6.5. I actually teased it. It was at 5. It still is at 5.5, and I teased an extra point to 6.5 to get it at minus 125. It was obviously 5.5 at minus 110, but I feel like that 1 point could make the difference. So give me Cardinals plus 6.5 against Pittsburgh in a low-scoring game. I'd say 23-20. No, not even. Give me 2016 Steelers. Moving on, this is my upset of the week. I have Panthers money line against the Bucks at plus 200. Panthers just fired their head coach. We were on the same wagon with the Raiders on 3 weeks ago against the Giants when they fired their coach, Mike McDaniels. I think when they fire their head coach, that next game means a lot to the team. I think it shows a lot about what their coach. I feel like I'm having a stroke right now. Sorry, I've been sick, so I'm a little disoriented. But Panthers Panthers money line plus 200. I like them coming in with a new coach. Their special teams coordinator's taking over the role at head coach. I think they play with some motivation. We bet on the Bucks last week and they burned us. I think they're kind of falling off. Baker Mayfield he's just so average. They lose games like this. I don't see them winning. Panthers money line plus 200. My next play is not a pick at all, rather than a touchdown prop, which has not been posted on the podcast, but is on record via TikTok and my action that I am very good at picking touchdown props. And this week, my lock is Raheem Mostert at plus 110 against Washington. Washington has a below-average run game, but I don't think that's what's going to matter. I think the Dolphins are just going to score a lot, and I don't think he's going to break one loose for like 30-plus yards. But I think he'll easily just run one in at some point for 3 to 4 yards. And at plus 110, I know it's not a lot of juice, but I think at plus money it still holds a ton of value because it just seems automatic. I know he's still kind of banged up, but there's no signs that he's going to miss this game. And if A-Chain's out, then I don't see a situation where Mostert doesn't get in, with or without A-Chain. But even if he does play, Mostert's going to get that ball in the red zone, and he'll find the end zone at least once. Also, a little sprinkle on DeAndre Hopkins to score this week. I didn't write that in, but he's my sneaky pick to score this week. Probably a lot more juice. I don't know what the odds are yet because I didn't bet it yet. But that's my other play of the week. And that's all I really have. I don't have a lot of insight this week. I'm tired. Feel like shit. Bam, are you awake?
Yeah, so short episode. Me and Nolan are both struggling to keep it together this week. We will be back stronger and healthier next week, next Thursday, next Friday, and we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.